I am here with the lovely Samantha Edu from Brown Heart Wellness. And let me tell y'all, we have had a time getting into this lot today. So all that tells me is it is about to be amazing. It's about to be amazing. So you gotta stay tuned. You gotta be in here with us because we're excited and we know that we have a message that we believe is going to resonate with your heart. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nicole, and I am the host of Leading Through the Cracks Real Stories, Whole Women, Transformative Leadership. And we are here every Monday with a different powerful woman who has something that she wants to speak into the lives of other women. And today's episode is called Positioned to Pause. We are prioritizing our wellness by being positioned to pause. And those of you that do know me, you know, am the pause lady. Okay. We're always talking about we need a pause, we need a nap, we need we need to pause, okay? Because we are constantly going and going and going and
Yep,
going, and we live life without margins. And it's just kind of the society that we're in, the culture that we're in. And
yep.
um we can't keep doing that, y'all. We can't keep doing that. So I brought Samantha on today because Samantha and I, just a little backstory. Samantha and I actually work together outside of our business life. And, we see each other, we support each other,
Mhm.
and, all the things. And all of a sudden, I saw Samantha talking about being positioned to pause. And I was like, what? Position to yes. And I got a little message from her saying, I didn't know you were talking about pausing. I didn't know. We got to talk about it together. It's too bad we couldn't collaborate. And we were like, nope, we still can.
Yes.
Came together because first of all, we just love women and we love celebrating women and helping women to thrive and be positioned for purpose. But in addition to that, supporting one another and supporting anything
Mhm.
that we're doing that can provide space for women to have that safe and soft place for your heart to land. And Samantha is doing an event called Position to Pause. I am doing an event called 10 Days of Pause. Now, y'all, my event is from October 1st to October 10th. Samantha's event is October.
October 7th.
Come on. You cannot make a better collaboration than that, right? You can't,
Like, seriously.
because we did not even plan that.
No.
We had no clue. So we're just excited to get on here and share each of our offerings with you, not only our offerings, but our heart behind pausing and what it means to each of us. So with no further ado, Samantha, I'm just going to let you introduce the people. Tell us who you are, what your business is, how you serve women.
Yes. Thank you for inviting me on to chat. I'm so excited that we were like, you know what? We're going to make this happen. And we got on a call and we were like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Here we're going to do it. And we have been executed. And
Uh,
that's magic.
yeah.
But thank you again. And I am Samantha Edu. I am the founder of Brown Heart Wellness. And Brown Heart Wellness is my private practice. I'm a licensed therapist and coach. And what I do with Brown Heart Wellness is really, really try my best to speak to the hearts of women that are navigating corporate landscape, navigating their own lives, just trying to get back to themselves or get to themselves because they maybe have never felt themselves or have never lent themselves to have their own identities. Like myself, I went right from childhood right into motherhood and wifehood and all of the hoods.
Listen.
all the hoods until I decided I was ready to be in my own hood. And that took a lot of time and self reflection and work and support. And Brown Heart Wellness is about being the community for women who are ready to get to their own hoods. And so that comes in the form of doing brave things. I truly, truly, truly believe that we are able to create pathways of healing by doing brave things. And so you'll always hear me talking about how can we be brave? What is your one brave thing? And the Position to Pause retreat is all about that one brave thing. The one brave thing, sometimes doing taking a pause is the bravest thing that you can do, right? But at the retreat, we will not just stop at the pause. We will be preparing ourselves, we will be positioning ourselves to move forward with a new community. So I'm super excited to you want to be hood rich, period.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's get into this conversation. Yes, I want to be hood rich too.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I'm sitting here listening to you talk about how you went straight from mm, childhood into motherhood and wifehood and whatever other hood you were in, I kind of was like the opposite of that because I went from childhood into education hood, education hood, education hood, and then it went to caretaking of sick parents. That's a whole nother hood. And honestly, it went from this whole being almost in despair and disappointment that I
Yeah.
was in the certain hoods that I should be in.
Oh,
You know what?
yes. Yes.
In the wifehood, I should be in the motherhood, and I'm doing all these other hoods.
Yes.
And so, one of the things that I am so passionate about with being positioned to pause. And like you said, we don't just stop at the pause. It's, taking that time to pause and really look inside to like, how are you feeling really?
Yes.
Because we don't take time to kind of reflect and really speak to ourselves about what we need
Yes.
in spirit, mind, and body. Like, are you really okay? And I had someone text me this morning and she said, "How are you doing really?" Like,
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
I don't hear all the Nicole, because how are you doing really?
Yes.
It really did make me pause and be like, you know what? How am I doing? How am I
Right.
really doing? And that's what I know I want for the 10 days of pause to be for women to really be able to address that. And I imagine that's how, one of the things you want for Position to Pause retreat.
Absolutely. I want people to realize that pausing is rest, but it's not just rest, right? It's active. You are actively doing something in the pause. I think sometimes when we think about rest, we think about like maybe taking a nap or doing something sitting still or being a sloth on the couch all day. And sometimes, yes, that is what you need, right? But when I think about this pause, I think about how do we get to that soul rest? How do we attach to the rest that feeds our soul? Because we can go to sleep, take a nap, do all of that, and still wake up feeling so heavy, so tired, so unclear, so not sure. All of those things because we really don't have a rest that has hit us in the soul. And I really think like with that 10 days of pause into the retreat, like I feel like it's a runway. I see it. That's what I see. I see it as a runway to where you are connecting with yourself on a soul level. And you're not just connecting with yourself, you're connecting with other people. There have been so many times in my life where I have been in the absolute darkest of places, and I could not have gotten out of those places without someone else, without another conversation, without somebody seeing me and saying, "How are you doing? Really, really." Even after I say, "Oh, girl, I'm good," chat, 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 and then, really, really, how you doing? Or getting that conversation a couple hours, a text message a couple hours later. Hey, girl, I'm glad we got to catch up, but It seemed like something wasn't okay. And then you're just there crying because you knew you weren't okay in the first place.
Yes, yes, and I so relate to that, and I'm thankful, so thankful for the times in my life when I've had those people who truly saw me.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Who truly see you, and I'm so thankful that you and I are have come together and are able to create this atmosphere. I love how you called it like the ramp up, the ramp up to the retreat. And we need that. You know what I'm like? It's great to have the conversation and it sounds really good, right?
Hmm.
Really, really good. But so many things come against us to fight
Yes.
that fight reflection and fight that getting down to the soul of what is going on with you. And I know for me, it's like my passion is to see women be able to walk in their purpose.
Yes.
And there's so many of us out here with all these beautiful creative gifts and talents. And we're so busy. We're running around
Uh-huh.
taking care of everybody else. And sometimes we're not touching that thing that we have been put here to do. That
Listen.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what
Yes.
I want these women to be able to be free and whole and energized to be able to step into these things with abandon.
I mean, when you said we're not doing those things we have been put here to do, we don't always realize when we have been positioned. That's where I got that word. You and I were talking about this the other day. We don't always realize when we are being positioning. You can probably look at my journey because you have had a front row seat, second, third seat. You've been able to witness me for a long time. Likewise, I can look at your journey from as long as I've known you and see you have been positioned for this moment. And then I might come to you and say, "Hey, I'm noticing you doing all these things." And you're like, "No, I'm not. I don't think so." Because we don't always know when we are being positioned to be at the front of the line. Yeah, I'm happy to share the story of me having that whole attack at the conference.
Yes, I love the story, man.
Long story short, I was at a conference and they were giving away these fans because everywhere you go now, they're giving away them fans because, where them fans at? Giving away the fans. And so we went to go get these free fans, and it was hundreds of people trying to get these fans. I found myself stuck in the crowd. I'm a short person. And so when I got stuck in the crowd, I was surrounded. I could not find my way out. And it was like people on the left, right, perpendicular, everywhere around me. And I noticed first of all, my breath started getting shallow. And I just started going inside of myself, doing my breathing, like, okay, I got to figure out how to get out. And there was no way out. Before I knew it, my body was being positioned and moving without me knowing it, like without me trying to do it, because they had opened up another box of fans. And the crowd started pushing forward and my body was just moving. And I was like, I don't even want a fan anymore. I want to get out of here, please. By the time I had just closed my eyes and opened them, it was so much yelling. Security, they had sent security down there, and the security could care less about the type of conference that it was all women. They could care less. And so I found myself positioned at the front of the line. And in front of me was the security guard, and he was yelling with all he had, "Get out, move!" I mean, so rude. He was literally right here, and that was ramping me up even more, making me more anxious. And I was trying to say, please stop, please." And he would not. At a moment, I had to pause and say, I'm at the front of the line. It's him, and then there's nothing else. I can just walk in, and I had to make a choice. I walked in, and of course, once I walked in, I was able to sit down. I started to breathe, and then my phone rang, and my friend called me, and she was like, "I see you. I'm here. I know you can't see me, but I'm here." And I was like, "Okay." okay, okay. At this point, I was in tears and I was embarrassed because I was crying. I was anxious, all of these things. And then there was a lady who came by herself to the conference and she was sitting next to me. And she said, I'm by myself and they won't let me out. They wouldn't let us out either. So, and she said, can I give you a hug? And I was like, yeah. So she gave me a hug and then we started chatting, of course, and I started being okay. And later, when I finally got out, I went and I started praying, like, God, why was I in that situation? Because I'm about to go home. I've had like, and in that prayer and in that moment, I heard you were being positioned. You are being positioned. I need you to know what it feels like to be positioned so you know when I'm doing it. And when I tell you from that moment on, it was a wrap. And I was like, I've been out the gate ever since. And I really want women to realize when they have been positioned to be at the front of the line and pause and then take your next steps. I was being positioned to be at the front of the line. I paused and was able to see, oh, it's a goat from here. I can get out. I can take my next steps. And so all of this is about understanding what positioning is, believing that you've actually been positioned, and then making a pause so we can pour into you, right? Pausing so you could be poured into, so you can hear your friends, you can hear your community saying, hey, girl, I got you. I see you, Nicole. I see you doing this. I'm here. I promise you. You can't see me, but I promise you I'm here. And even now, it gives me chill bumps to just think about that experience. And when I say we're going to all have that experience, we all leaving with something. And I'm not playing about it.
Playing about it, you leaving for something, okay? I mean, I love I love the story. I think this is the most in depth I've heard the story, but I've heard you say it before and it's just like it does give you kind of like the little goosebump because it's reminding us like I think sometimes Samantha we feel like we are in control. We feel
Mhm.
like we are the ones kind of running this little show that down here called life.
Yes,
We are not. We are
we're not.
absolutely we are not. And there is a greater plan. There is a greater purpose. Like even
Yes.
the fact that my challenge is from October 1st through October 10th. Your retreat is on October. I'm telling you, two women who know each other have no idea that we're talking about pausing, that we're creating these two events that one leads right into the other one.
Yes.
Only God can do that. We had no clue. And,
No.
I that's one thing that I want to remind women of is that it's not all you don't have to make things happen. We all
Yes.
and there is some, obviously there's some truth in there are actions that you have to take, right? There are
Mhm.
right. However, the steps are already known.
Right.
You have to pause long enough to listen to hear
Yes.
that have already been ordered so that you can walk them out.
Yes. Yes. So you can take those brave steps because if you are already saw my stuff and I saw yours, but if I said, nah, I'm not gonna say anything, I'm not gonna reach out. Not only you gotta be ready, you have to see what's happening, which means you actually have to pause and clear out some stuff. And then you gotta see the thing and you need to act. You have to take the brave step. You gotta say, hey, I see what you're doing. And even though I was like, oh, dang, I wonder if we should have done this. You were in me like, this could still happen.
Do it.
And all of this happened in a couple days. And here we are today executing. So women need to know, although you are in all those hoods, and you have to be in these hoods because that's the life we live in. We also have gratitude for the hoods we've been in. That don't gonna stop you. That should not stop you from being positioned to pause, act, and get in community and lock in. And that's what we're doing.
In a place of sadness, of grief, of despair, disappointment. And because of that, I was kind of hiding and I was isolating.
Mm,
I was just in my grief and I wasn't truly engaging in my life. And one day, as 1010 was coming, because 1010 I had earmarked it. That was the day, that it was earmarked. And I realized that the I had earmarked for 10, marriage, new life.
mm,
As 10 10 10 got closer, it wasn't happening. And I felt the Lord speak to me and
yeah.
are you going to sit in this sadness and grief? You going to use your voice for the purpose that I have called you to? And I was
Yes.
well, and that really, so instead of me sitting at home and sad on 10, I turned an event and I invited 10 beautiful women, had this wonderful meal for them,
Mhm.
got a gift for them, each an individual gift that spoke directly into the identity of who they are. And I wrote a letter. And that was my first 1010 event on 10 10 10. And
I love it.
it's like marking, no, I'm not going to stay in despair. I'm not going to stay.
Yes.
I do have a call. I do have a purpose for my life, and I'm going to use my voice. And I'm going to keep stepping and keep going on. And now every 1010 has looked different, all the time harder than others. I cannot lie.
Mm,
But that is still my day. And this year is the year that I decided, you know what? We're going big this year.
yeah. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And one thing that I hear in that is the pivot, right? The power of pivoting and being willing to not be loyal to your situation, not be loyal to your grief, not be so loyal to the job or the life you thought you were supposed to have, the kids you thought you were supposed to have, and when I say kids you thought you were supposed to have, I mean the way that they have grown up to be, like not being so loyal to having this picture marriage that you thought it was supposed to be like, being able to pivot in a way that you are willing to explore what your gifts and your purpose truly are so that you can be all that you were called to be. Because just imagine if all that stuff you thought you were supposed to be and or have would only be unlocked if you pause. If you pause, that's the only way to unlock that thing and be able to have access to what is meant for you. And I'll always say this, anything I ever thought I was supposed to have was a small fraction of actually what I'm meant to have in this whole big life.
Absolutely. Lord, we could talk forever and ever and ever about this. It held me captive for a long. This is a powerful conversation. I
It is.
want and I want you to who are listening live and who are going to receive the conversation when we send it out. I want you to share it because this is important. This is like it goes beyond the events that Samantha and I
Yes.
are having. Yes, we want you to come to the events. Absolutely. We want you to be there. We want you to receive and we want you to be poured into, but it goes above and beyond that, right? About this is about your heart. This is about healing. This is
Yes.
about being positioned exactly the way you are supposed to be positioned and walking that out with confidence,
Yes.
bravery, like brave. Like this is a
Yes.
life that we have to be brave in. Like Samantha's thing is your one brave thing. And I don't even know, Samantha, if you know this, that I wrote a book and the book is called originally read Be Bold, Be Brave, Be You. I never even told you that. I've never even told you that. But that's the name of the book. Originally read Be Bold, Be Brave, Be You. Okay. And we can talk about that another day. This for another day. But I'm just saying,
Yes.
saying like this is my heart, my passion to see women
Yes.
free. Like,
Yes.
there's so much going on in the world. There's so much that could have us weighed down in our personal lives and in the world at large, right? There's so much happening. Some of that we have got to be able to block out and focus in, lock in
Mhm.
is that you are supposed to be doing? Who are you in this world? What
Yes,
is your voice supposed to be speaking? What steps are you supposed to be taking?
yes, yes. And trust that alignment will always find you. Like, I love that you like how you explained where you felt captive,
Mhm.
to those feelings and those experiences and in wanting to be free. You know how many women are out here feeling captive? I know what it feels like to feel captive. Like just to feel like you have a 100-pound blanket on you, but you are still going to work. You are still caring for others. You are still making meals. You're still laughing with friends. You're actually still doing podcasts and entertaining and still encouraging and motivating other people. Yet you have a 100-pound blanket on your back.
Mm,
No. What we are talking about is about removing the blanket.
mhm.
Actually, that's too far. That's too far. What we are talking about is knowing you can be free,
Yes.
knowing that this is temporary, knowing that there's a community of people who are here to support you, who actually see you. The blanket don't have to come off yet. We just want you to know that what you are experiencing is temporary. It's absolutely not the life that God has planned for you. And all we're asking you to do is just pause. Just pause. I know it's scary because we feel like we'll break in the pause.
Mm,
So we won't pause. You won't break. And you know what? Baby, I got so many broken things around here I done put back together and it's working. That's fine.
yes. 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 That is so true. Like, I'm an artist, and one of the things that I love to do is getting broken things and fixing them, right? Yes, Dawn, come on. She's out here preaching. Samantha's out here preaching. But yes, the broken things. Like, I love broken things because I mean, come on. My Substack is called Mosaic Life. It's
Yes.
called Mosaic Life because of all of the broken pieces that are in an art
Listen.
piece that are in our lives. They make
Yes.
up a beautiful masterpiece. That's exactly
Yes.
why it's called Mosaic Life. Because
Yes.
we are masterpieces made up of broken pieces that come together as one.
Yes. Oh,
Every piece of you matters. Every piece of you matters. And sometimes we
yes.
bury pieces and we're ashamed of pieces. And when we do that, we don't nurture them so that they can receive healing.
Mhm.
But we've got to pull out everything. We've got to be able to look at everything. And you don't have to do it all right away. Like Samantha
No.
said, everything doesn't have to happen all at once. And that's
Mm-mm.
another trap that we fall into when we
Right.
when we try to start making shifts and changes because we're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that's too much. I can't do." But we're not asking you to do all of that. We're just
Yes.
asking you to do the pause so that you
Yes.
can take the first step. What is that first step?
That's it. That's it. Girl, listen, you'll get me started.
Oh my
We'll
gosh.
break it down.
'Cause we don't need to be here all day, but we are definitely look, I don't even care if it's after our events are over. We're coming back and we're going to have another conversation about this because this is important. Y'all, this is
It
so
is.
important. And it's really important when you find people who are talking
Mhm.
in similar ways. You know what?
Yeah.
Like, because that shows you that there's life there. There's movement there. There's
Yes.
synergy there. There's ability for growth to happen there. And so that's
Yes.
why it's important that you find your tribe, your people, who can
Yes.
encourage you in this. So, as we kind of start to bring it down a little bit, I'm going to give Samantha and myself each a little bit of time. I want to just hear about the retreat. Samantha, can you
Mhm.
just tell people what it is, when it is, whatever they need to know about
Yes.
this retreat?
Yes. So the Position to Pause retreat is gonna be here in Atlanta on October 11th from 1:30 to 4:30, and it is a 3-hour retreat. And that is important for me to note because in my mind, when I visualized the retreat, it had to be 2 days. It had to be this, thing in my mind, and I wasn't going to do it. Brown Heart Wellness will be turning 1 at the same time. And I was like, what better way to celebrate? And also do what you said you were going to do. My job is to carry out the vision that was given to me. And the vision that was given to me was to have a retreat this year in October. And so I started thinking about what this retreat would look like. And I always start, how do I want people to leave? And who's walking through the door. And I wanted to create an experience where women felt like they were walking into a very soft space where somebody took the time to dream up in their soft minds, right? Because it took me getting to a soft place myself. So somebody took the time to dream up in my soft mind an experience where they could come in and get in touch with their body, get in touch with their mind, and get some giggles in community, be fed,
Mm.
be fed, and have a very holistic experience. Of course, we will be integrating the One Brave thing where we use my root framework and we're talking about reflecting on things, being open to all of the goodness that is before us, moving obstacles out of the way, and then we will be ending with thriving and celebrating our brave steps moving forward. And so that is what we're going to be doing at the retreat. There will be a wellness corner. We have some amazing sponsors who's going to gift us some really nice goodies to take home with us. Y'all know I love, if anybody knows me, y'all know I love me some tea. So we do have a tea sponsor and then we have Honey Pot. So it's going to be like really nice. And I'm really blessed to be able to pour out in this way, and I've never not been poured back into a million times fold. So that's what we'll be doing at the retreat. And you can always find out more information about the retreat at www.samanthaedu.com/retreats.
Love it. And we will definitely put that information under the video when we send it out. So, and also, I just want to say, if you don't live in Atlanta, but you have a girlfriend, a cousin, an auntie, somebody
Yes.
who lives in Atlanta, they need to know about the Position to Pause retreat. Okay. So share, 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 share.
Yes.
And then, so for me, we are doing Sip from the Well 10 days of pause. And that is October 1st through the 10th. And it is a free challenge that I'm basically challenging you to set aside some time and
Mhm.
pause. Each day, you're going to get an email with a video, with some prompts, with a little workbook, with,
Mhm.
all the things that you need to set yourself up to establish a new pattern of being. That's the whole goal. It's like even if you only take one thing away from those
Mhm.
10 days, that one thing is going to be your first step, right? It's your first
Yes.
step into creating new patterns of being for yourself. And then on 10/10, y'all, 10/10, we're going to go live. We're going to do a live Zoom session. So you got to register for it so you can get the link to come live,
Mhm.
right? We're going to have a good time. We're going to reflect on the previous 9 days. We're going to get some prizes.
I
I'm going to
love
give out
it.
prizes for people who were engaged and responding to questions and really setting aside time for yourself. You're going to be rewarded with some prizes.
I
There
love it. Right.
I love a prize too, right? I love a prize. I'm like, yes, I love prizes and I love to win. Okay. I love to win.
Yes.
So yeah, and it's just, and I want to say this too, like, it's really great to have um a ramp up to what Samantha's doing because sometimes when we get into positions like what she's creating, where we're in the room and we are
Mhm.
trying to pause. It's kind of like when you go on vacation and you need like a day to heal
Yes.
yourself before you can actually relax. It's kind of like that. And so doing the sip from the well 10 days of pause before you even go to a retreat like to really set the stage and really get your mind prepped and ready for what Samantha's going to bring. So I hope that you will register. And if you're in Atlanta, do both. Go
Mhm.
see her in person and get your mind right before you go. Get your mind right before you go. Okay. And we will definitely put the links to everything, how you can register for both of these events under the video in the caption and description of the video. So don't worry about that. And Samantha, as we're closing, I know that you are an amazing facilitator of peace and presence. And we are going to have you give us our closing words activity. Take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. So, as I do on the Brown Heart Wellness podcast, we are going to close out with a Brown Heart mindful moment, a Brown Heart mosaic mindful moment. And it's just a moment where we can just kind of center ourselves and before we go back into our days. So just kind of get comfortable. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, do that. Do that. I always say, listen, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. No need. Don't even get too comfortable. Just listen. But finding your seat, finding your feet, letting the world slow down. We've had such an amazing conversation. This opportunity allows it to just settle in the spirit, feeling the world slow down, feeling your breath slow down, noticing the breath. Maybe your chest is going up and down, honoring that breath, showing gratitude for the breath, just doing what it's supposed to do without us having to tell it what to do. Today, we are honoring the pause. We're giving ourselves permission to pause, to pivot, to pour, taking a big, deep breath, as deep as is comfortable for you, connecting with yourself, telling yourself thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Thank you for the moments where you have been going 100 miles per hour in survival. Thank you for the moments when you have paused. Thank you for the moments when you've reached out to someone else. Thank you for the moments when you've allowed someone to reach out to you, even when you were fighting them off or had your best mask on. In this next breath, I hope that you're able to remove the mask and set your intention for this week. Say your intention to yourself. I'll write it down. Taking another big deep breath. One more big deep breath. Saying to yourself, I deserve to be liberated from whatever has held me captive. I know that there is freedom in the pause. I give myself permission to be free. Coming back to bringing some life back into your fingers, opening the eyes when you're ready. Deserve to be free.
And thank you so much, Samantha. Goodness, I thank you just for being here. I thank you for sharing your heart. I thank you for what you're doing. Um, this retreat is it's amazing, and I know that it's the first of many for you, whether it's called the same thing or not. I know you are going to be doing this. It's in you, and I celebrate you and just thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for saying yes to your call and your purpose. And thank you for fighting through whatever battles you had to fight through to be here. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, thank you guys so much for joining us today. This was a powerful conversation. I am here every Monday on Leading Who Cracks. Whew. Real stories, whole women, transformative leadership, just a safe space, a healing space to provide sometimes resources, sometimes inspiration, sometimes encouragement, sometimes strategy, whatever the conversation calls for, that's what we're going to do. And I hope that you'll be back with us next Monday for another powerful conversation. But in the meantime, be positioned to pause and know that you deserve the pause. And we will see you later. Thank you.
I
Bye.